So hello everyone, this is Priyanshu Prasad here with my data science project. Here I will be training a model which will be helpful in determining the disease of diabetes accurately. So let's now jump to the Jupyter Notebook for further training and testing the model. So here in the Jupyter Notebook, I started with importing the important libraries which are used in data science, such as NumPy. NumPy is used for numerical calculations. Pandas is used for data manipulation and analysis. Seaborn and Matplotlib are used for data visualization. Next, I have imported the data set from the Kaggle, which I have downloaded. The data set contains many factors such as pregnancies, glucose, blood pressure. These affects the disease of diabetes and the final outcome. 1 represents the person has diabetes and 0 represents the person does not have diabetes. So we can see the shape of the data set, 768 rows and 9 columns. And then the null values, if there are any missing values, as we can see they are it's currently showing 0 because these are written 0 in a numeric form and not in any null values. So I will be replacing with the 0 with NaN to use my functions. So I have listed out the columns in which the data cannot be 0, such as glucose, insulin, BMI. In these the data cannot be 0. So I will be replacing the 0 with NaN values so that I can apply the null function on it. After applying the null function, we can see the amount of null values in each of these. The glucose has 5, blood pressure has 35, skin thickness and insulin have a lot of null values, like more than 20. As we can see, it has more than 20% of null values. So I will be replacing it, I will be dropping it in fact, as it will lower the amount of accuracy I will be getting through my model. So as you can see, the white dashes represent the null values and the skin thickness and insulin have a high concentration of white dashes. So I have dropped it in the next line and stored it in a new data frame known as data frame 2. This is the new data frame in which skin thickness and insulin is not there, but still there are null values here. As you can see, glucose have 5 null values, blood pressure has 35 null values, and BMI have 11 null values. So now how do we fill it? Well, I have used the method of mean, median and mode to fill the null values. So let's first see some graphs whether to determine if we fill it by mean, median or mode. As you can see, this is the graph of BMI. This is how my data looks. The number of data from 20 to 40 has a high amount of concentration in my data set. So it is particularly skewed through the left side, as you can see. So I will be using the median mode because if I use the mean would be somewhere around here, somewhere around 40 to 50, and so it will not be closer to my actual data. So I will be using the median in BMI. And the glucose, as you can see, is symmetric. The mean is somewhere around 125, and also the amount of data, the highest amount of data is also between 100 and 125. So I will be using mean in glucose and as well as blood pressure too, because as you can see, this graph is also symmetric. So let's fill it. Mean, one list for mean in which glucose and blood pressure are there, and median. So now I have imported the scikit-learn library and imported the simple imputer function from it, and applying the strategy mean in imputer, and letting the program know in which column I will be applying it, and then finally transforming my data in both these lines. So as you can see, finally we have removed the null values from my data, and now it is purely cleaned. Now let's jump on to the data visualization part. So the data visualization, first I have this data correlation graph showing the relation of each of the columns with others. A value of 1 or near to 1 represents the data is directly proportional to the other column. A value of 0 or near to 0 represents the data is not related. to other, and a value of negative value represents the data is inversely proportional. So as we can see in the last row, the outcome is 0.22 times related to pregnancy, like it is somewhat directly proportional but very weakly. Glucose is somewhat highly related to outcome. A higher glucose means the person is diabetic, and age and blood BMI is also highly related to outcome. Then I have this scatter plot showing graph showing where each of the dot represents a data point. Young people and with lower glucose meant certainly that they does not have diabetes. While as the age increased, the glucose is lower. Some patients did have diabetes and some did not. While it is almost certain that if a patient is older and have high amount of glucose here as you can see the outcome is 1, that it means that the person had diabetes. Somewhat of the same relation can be seen in the glucose BMI relation. A higher BMI also meant that the person had diabetes, and we have seen that glucose is always highly related. So a higher glucose had higher diabetic chances. This is the pair plot graph showing the graph of each of the columns with others. As you can see, glucose have higher chance, strongly relation. Blood pressure is weakly related, and the most important thing which these graphs show that there is no linearity symbolism in my data set. There is no linear relation, so I will be using the classification models such as decision trees and random forest to train my models. So coming to the model training part, I have first chosen one independent variable which is the x, and other dependent variable y, which is my target variable. So I have imported from scikit-learn the train test split function, which I will be using to divide my data into training and testing. So x train and y train, and the test size I have taken is 0.2, means 20% of my data will be used for testing, and it's the random state is 2020 or any number. It suggests that the data will be always a particular set and will not change randomly. So for the next part, let's jump on to the PPT for further explanation of the project. Now let's talk about the machine learning model which I will be implementing. Decision tree. A decision tree is a type of supervised machine learning classification model used to categorize or make predictions based on how the questions were answered. It is simple and does not require high computational power. Let's see how this works. So let's take this as an example of my decision tree. Suppose a patient comes and we ask the question, does he have high glucose in it? If yes, is he old? If that is also yes, the person is 100% diabetic. Now, if a person comes without high glucose but has old age, we check if it has high BMI too. If that is also yes, then the person has diabetes, and otherwise no, he is safe. If the person does not have high glucose and does not have old age or is young, he is perfectly safe. So this is a type of example of decision tree. Of course, we can replace high glucose with old age or old age with BMI. We have to check the impurity of each subcomponent to determine which will come at the top and which will come bottom. This is computed using an impurity known as Gini impurity. The Gini impurity used to determine which feature will be used as a root node in the decision tree. Let's suppose 700 persons come with high glucose. 500 of them were found to be diabetic and 200 were found to be non-diabetic. Now let's suppose 700 another persons came without high glucose. 100 of them were found to be diabetic and 600 were not found to be diabetic. Now let's suppose old age persons with old age came 700, 400 of them were found to be diabetic and 300 of were not found. And 700 young people came, 200 of them were found to be diabetic and 500 were not. So which one to use as a feature, as a root node on top, high glucose or old age? This is determined by gene impurity. The formula is 1 minus the probability of yes to the power square minus the probability of no to the power square. So after calculating for each node, each leaf node, this one here, this one here, we found out the mean of the everything. The mean is found here and the impurity is calculated. Now let's suppose there were 700 yes and 0 no. The probability of yes would have been 1. So this would have been 0. Then the high glucose would have been perfectly and an ideal function to be used as a root node. But there is some impurity and the value which is lower will be used as the root node. So in this case, high glucose is giving more amount of purity in it than old age. So high glucose will be used as a root node. So back in the Jupyter notebook, after splitting the data into training and testing, I have to import the scikit-learn library and the decision tree classifier in it. Then I have set the decision tree classifier with the Gini criterion, which we had already discussed. Then I have fitted the classifier into my training data and let the classifier know I want to work with this data. So now I have predicted the score of my accuracy on the testing data and it came out to be 75.9%. This is the sample input of a patient. The values are taken in numerical form and converted into an array. Then it is used by classifier.predict, and if the prediction comes out to be 1, the person is diabetic, and else the person is not diabetic. So I have to include more parameters to increase the accuracy of my prediction, as you can see, only one criterion equals to Gini is taken as a parameter, but there are more parameters such as max depth. I have to decide what will be the suitable depth of the tree, minimum sample split, what will be the amount of samples which will be required for a splitting of a decision tree, max features, what will be the maximum number of features required to be taken into consideration when we'll be splitting data, and the maximum number of leaf nodes. So I will be using the CV grid search to know the optimal value of each of these features. The CV grid search make a grid of each of these values and determines the optimum value for it. So as you can see, I have imported the selection model from scikit-learn, and from it the grid search is imported. Import and applied it into my data. The cross validation number is 10, which is considered optimal, and I want to use all of my processors available in my laptop to do the job. Then I have to fitted the data into my training set. Then it has shown me the best parameters for my data. The max depth was 7, the max features, which would be the 5, max leaf nodes would have been 7, and the minimum number of minimum number of samples required for splitting the data would be 80. If these values would have been at the extreme side of the in my input data, such as if the max depth would have been 8, I would have inputted 9 to check if it goes even higher. But it does not come out to the max side, so I will take 7 as my input. So fitting this data, max feature is equals to 7, max leaf nodes is equals to 7, and minimum sample split is equals to 80. The final accuracy of my model comes out to be 78.5%. This is the final accuracy, and with this I conclude my data science project of diabetes prediction.